Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce myself. My name is Andika Purnawijaktana. I'm studying in Yogyakarta State of University, major English Literature, 4th semester. Today I want to presentation my mind the chapter on film analysis and eco criticism. Film 300, The Greek Spartan Armies. This is film stories about the Greek Spartan led by King Leonidas. Leonidas, who was born at 530 until 480 BC, was a descendant of Sparta. He was asked to be supreme leader of his people. Leonidas is believed to be a descendant of the god Hercules because of his strength of courage. Leonidas was the son of the previous king of Sparta, King Anaxandridas. He became king when his half-brother Clemenes I died under mysterious and tragic circumstances exactly the same year that Leonidas was made king. As a king, Leonidas has mastered political science and the military. Like other men in the city of Sparta, Leonidas has been forget physically and mentally from a young age in preparation for becoming a hoplite warrior, as Sparta warriors are called. Hoplite soldiers were armed with round-shielded spears and short swords. In battle, they usually use a phalanx formation, where each line of soldiers stands close together so that they slip over each other. When an attack occurs, this shield will provide very significant protection against the soldier behind them. Ironically, this strategy was also allegedly a weak point and the cause of their main defeat of the Persian soldiers in the Battle of Thermopylae. King Leonidas, famous for being brave, wise, equitable, and willing to sacrifice for his nation. In the past, the Greek Spartan army amount only 300, but the Spartan army was the most powerful and most feared in the world. The Spartan army of only 300 led by King Leonidas once fought tens of thousands of troops led by King Xerxes. This event is known as the Battle of Thermopylae at 480 BC. The Battle of Thermopylae was a battle between the alliance of the Greek city-state led by King Leonidas of Sparta against the Persian Empire led by King Xerxes. King Xerxes' leadership, the Persian army marched south through Greece on the east coast. To reach their destination in Attica, the area that is part of the city Athens, the soldiers must pass through the Thermopylae Canal. In the late summer of 40 BC, Leonidas paraded 7,000 Greek soldiers from various parts of the city, including 300 Sparta, in an effort to repel the invasion of Persian soldiers. Leonidas stationed his troops at Thermopylae, hoping that this narrow path would lead the Persians into the attack he had prepared. For 2 days in a row, they withstood the barrage of Persian soldiers who outnumbered them. Initially, Leonidas' brilliant plan went smoothly. However, he did not know that there was another path leading up the mountain, where his soldiers were. Through this route, the Persian army was able to avoid the deadly path that had claimed many lives of its troops. The culprit is a Greek citizen himself named Ephialtes, who betrayed by leaking the secret route to the king Xerxes. The reason Ephialtes betrayed was the king Leonidas rejected Ephialtes because of his deformed body. It did not take long for the Persian troops to surround the Greek soldier. Most of Leonidas' soldiers fled but come face to face with the Persian. The Thespian, the Pans, and 30 Spartan troops who bravely resisted the onslaught of the Persian armies had to die is one of the most legendary battles. After the battle, Leonidas' body was searched off, then beheaded. He died the Battle of Thermopylae, visiting Persian soldiers in 418 BC. His death is seen as one of the most heroic sacrifices in history. In a colossal battle in which he and about 300 of his soldiers died honorable. Although King Leonidas and his army of 300 Spartans died and lost the war, they bravely risked their lives to protect the sovereignty of the Greeks. Question number 1. How is setting used in the work just a backdrop or as a character capable of changing the other character attitude? The setting used in the movie 300 used as the character King Leonidas shows audience that to be a leader who is responsibility, brave, and willing to sacrifice for the people, family, and country. 2. What do humans to do the earth or environment in the movie? The human in the movie show are from the Persian wanting to expand its power and from the Spartan wanting to maintain its country Greece. 3. Do humans exploit nature and think only to serve their greed, or they care to sacrifice for them? Yes, because the Persian wanting to expand its power and King Leonidas with Spartan armies willing to sacrifice for the Greek nation. 4. What kind of human nature relationship happens in the movie? The Spartan nation will maintain their Greek state because Greece was rich in natural resources. Meanwhile, the Persian was poor with natural resources. Therefore, the Persian wanted to take the Greek city. 5. Do humans learn and develop because of the environment? Yes, because ancient humans more often use nature such as wood, water, etc. They use its natural resources to make shelter, weapons, and daily life. 6. Do you think the movie inspire or motivate viewers to conserve to the environment or environment damage? Yes, this is film very interesting and easy to understanding by all audience. But it also break tight the audience because the film stand out massacre, siege, or maintain power and destruction of nature due to human greed to make weapons, forests are cut down to make war roads. Number 7. Demonstrate how human nature relationship is questioned, criticism, or celebrated in a text, a novel, short story, or movie you like best. In the film 300, the Greek Spartan army, King Leonidas as the main character in the film. What are the circumstances or natural events during the battle against the Persian army led by King Xerxes? Nature in the film 300, the Greek Spartan army is to be reckoned with. In the battlefield, the time very many forests, experience fires, barren land, etc. It happened because they often met weapon and met the flow of war. Because the relationship between humans and nature is related and complementary. Humans need nature to fulfill their daily life, such as needing oxygen, cooking, building houses, edifices, etc. Meanwhile, nature needs to be preserved and to be cared properly. However, humans often destroy nature, such as throwing garbage in rivers, cutting or burning forests aggressively, etc. That's why Indonesia is often hit by disasters such as flood, landslide, etc. 8. Do you believe that literature has a power to change or inspire? How can literature help making humans care nature more? Yes, I believe that literature can change or inspire someone to care more about all living things. Nature, animal, and human complement each other. Especially for humans, before acting, you must think first. Don't act recklessly. For example, a farmer is plowing a field so that the results are good. The farmer allows sparrows to perch on his field to eat insects of fish. A farmer doesn't slaughter sparrow if the population of sparrow is very small, then the harvest will be bad because insect or fish eat the harvest. All living things need oxygen and for daily life. Therefore, you must take care of each other. Number 9. Explain how you will use reader response theory in analyzing a literary text. You might use a short story, a novel, a play, or a movie. I will use the theory of reader response is divided into the following: voice, personality, and point of view. I take story from the film called 300, the Greek Spartan armies. Personality: King Leonidas, famous for being brave, wise, equitable, and willing to sacrifice for his nation. King Xerxes, famous for being sinister, greedy, and cruel. Point of view: the Spartan nation will maintain their Greek state because Greece was rich in natural resources. Meanwhile, the Persian was poor with natural resources. Meanwhile, the Persian wanted to take the Greek city. Number 10. Explain why eco-criticism is important. What's wrong about how we treat our nature, environment, and the ecological balance? Provide some empirical data to help you. Yes, eco criticism is very important because it can provide moral values about caring for people, environment, and other creatures. Eco criticism has an important role for us to treat nature and other creatures. How our attitude toward nature and other creatures. There are many cases of how badly humans treat nature on other creatures. It becomes a big problem. As an example, wildfires, deforestation, and littering, and humans killing poultry such as sparrows, eagles, snakes, etc. And it causes nature to be damaged and unfriendly to other creatures. 11. Please explain the following concept of psychoanalysis. Good psychoanalytic criticism can help you shape and articulate the political experience of the writer or the character to resolve to from that psychological experience from the author word and put it into our own word and our word experience. Psychoanalysis is branch of science developed by Sigmund Freud and his followers. Types of psychoanalysis: is conscious, preconscious, unconscious, the ID, and the ego. 12. What makes a reader in a reader response theory may have different interpreting with other reader. What makes a text have multiple meaning? Relate your answer to the fact that literature is fragmented or incomplete. Yes, because everyone has different opinion and judgment. For example, Woody thinks the story of the Titanic novel that the novel is fun, romantic, worth watching for everyone can inspire and the audience. However, Putra thinks that the story of the Titanic novel is not worth it watching because there are scenes of sex, boring, etc. And last, 30. Compare and contrast the position and role of a reader in biographical criticism. New criticism and reader response theory. You might use able or diagram to ease your reader. Biographical criticism. The role of the reader in biographical criticism is not important because the most important thing is writer and literary creation. Author the literature is related. The writer citizens a literary creation while the literary creation analyzes the biography of a writer. New criticism is literary theory that critiques American literature in the middle decade of the 20th century. It emphasizes for the careful reader, especially poetry, novel, to discover how a literary work functions as an aesthetic object. Reader response theory. Response of reader who observe a literary creator. Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Goodbye, see you tomorrow.